Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm reviewing LEGO Marvel Infinity Saga set number 76277, War Machine Mech Armor. This has 154 pieces, one exclusive minifigure, and it will retail for 15 US dollars when it releases on January 1st, 2024. I did get this set early. I found it on the shelves at my local Walmart. They were officially stocking them, like I talked to the employees, and 2024 sets have been popping up at many Walmarts across the country, so I don't know what's going on there, but I will tell you this might be one of my favorite Marvel sets ever, and I think it's definitely the best Mech Armor set that the LEGO Group has ever made. Before we get further into it, though, I do want to remind everyone that I am an employee of the LEGO Group. However, all opinions expressed in these videos are my own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the LEGO Group, and LEGO is a registered trademark of the LEGO Group of companies, which does not sponsor, authorize, or endorse this site. This version of War Machine is exclusive to this set, and because it is an Infinity Saga set, I guess it's based on an MCU movie. I don't know what armor this is, though. I think this might be, I think it's the 4 or the 5 from the end of Avengers Age of Ultron. If someone can let me know in the comments, that would be really helpful. I do really like the printing on it. Leg printing looks excellent, and the torso is printed nicely as well. But I think my favorite part of it is the visor, which just looks really mean, but in a good way, of course, because it's War Machine. The one thing I don't like about the figure is the light bluish gray arms. I just don't love light bluish gray on Iron Man suits. The main body of the minifigure is this pearl dark gray, and I really would have preferred if the light bluish gray sections were flat silver. Now, I don't know if it is a more silvery or gray finish on the actual armor, because again, I'm not sure which one this is, so it might be completely accurate to the movie. I just think the one thing that could be improved about, honestly, this entire set is flat silver arms. But that is very nitpicky, and I will completely own that. So if you flip the visor up, you do have a face print for Rhodey, and you can actually pop his helmet off and throw in a hairpiece. And I love it when hairpieces are included with minifigures. Unfortunately, there is no alternate face. It would have been nice to see the heads-up display face print for Rhodey that we were getting in sets in like 2019, but I guess it must be out of production. But either way, I'm super excited to add this figure to my Hall of Armor, and I hope to have a video update for that coming sometime in like the next 2 weeks. I did say that I think this is the best Mech Armor set that LEGO has ever made, and I will explain why, but first I want to put the minifigure inside. I do like that printed tile that mimics Rhodey's arc reactor, and I love that there's kind of a locking mechanism to put him in place. You just lift up those arms and then fold the seat down, or the front down, not the seat, and then he just sits right there. I did kind of prefer the older mech armors where the minifigure was standing instead of sitting because it was just easier to slide them in and out. But this is a fantastic look, and I love this set so much. Like I think that this just looks perfect. It's heavy like a War Machine mech should be. And on the topic of the previous mech armor sets, because this sub theme started like 5 years ago actually in 2020, and I've always favored the original ones because I never really liked these kind of locked joints where you can't move the elbows or the knees. I just think that they used to have a lot more articulation. And yeah, they used to be standing as well, the minifigures. But I actually really love the new style when it comes to this set because heavy, chunky, locked joints makes perfect sense for War Machine, who is a very like heavy combat character. So that's why I think that this mech armor looks so good. And it's just super well detailed. Like, I love the strips of light bluish gray on the arms and the legs, which again mimic the minifigure. You have little exposed studs. The feet are built in a pretty basic way. I guess these could have been transparent dishes to represent repulsors, but I mean, you can add that yourself. It's not really necessary. And there is still a good amount of articulation. Something else that I'm really happy to see has been fixed that I didn't like about the newer style is that the legs have been offset on the last few series. I think like the last 2 years of mechs have had offset legs because there was no 1x2 piece with a ball joint on both ends. But that new mold has been produced this year and in black. It's the first Mixel's ball joint piece in black, I think. So that is fantastic. At least I think it's new for this year. I don't think it was introduced in 2023. So I'm really happy about that because now the legs are finally on like the same level again. And I did just break the foot off, but that's the first time I've had an issue with that. I don't think that these are really prone to breaking off normally. But I guess since we're on the legs, we'll continue around. There's some nice detailing on the sides of the hips as well. And you do have waist articulation that is just a little bit limited by this large hose poking out of the figure's back. That hose, again, just really fits with War Machine, though. It makes him look like he's more weaponed up than Iron Man, which is definitely something that War Machine needs. And I really love the arms too, because you have this shoulder armor made with these like car fender pieces. You just have some nice shaping at the elbows, and then the hands are perfect. I really, really like these robot arm pieces being used as fingers, as opposed to the newer like hooked claw style that's being used on some figures. And I think that those were the fingers used on the mechs in 2023, which is probably why I also didn't love them as much. But you do have the arc reactor represented by a 2x2 like rounded stud. So that's excellent. And yeah, the arms can grab stuff, but they also just look real nice. And then you have a stud shooter on top over here. And then on the other arm, you have another stud shooter on the wrist, but then you also have a shoulder mounted stud shooter, which is another iconic feature of War Machine's armors. Maybe, again, if I'm being nitpicky, a slightly bigger gun could have been cool, but I'm really happy with this because it gets the appearance across, and it's always at his shoulder. You know, like no matter where you pose this arm, he always has a gun on his shoulder. So I'm pretty happy with that overall. Like I said, this is just a really nice model. And I guess this foot is breaking off a lot, but I don't know what I'm doing to it. Maybe I pressed the toe ball piece down into the foot a little bit too much. But yeah, okay, it just keeps breaking. I feel like this is not representative of the set. You know, like I don't think that this is a legit criticism of the set. I think I might just not. Yeah, I don't think I built it with enough like rotation. So that's probably an error on my part and not something that's wrong with the design here. The back is also pretty nicely detailed though, because like I said, you have the hose, and then you also have this little box. And if you pull that box off, it just clips onto the back, and even that area is finished. It's tiled off. Lego mechs are never this finished at the back, so I love seeing that one this small gets such deluxe treatment. But if you open this box up, you actually have 4 extra tiles for the stud shooters. That is wonderful because you always get extra tiles and studs, but you don't always get a place to store them. And I love having a place to store extra parts and accessories. You can also get this thing into some interesting poses, so I feel like pretty quickly you can get it into a running pose. You can have him like trying to repulsor blast someone, and then have him like holding up his shoulder cannon. And I think the way that the shapes work, like up around the shoulders, like with the way that the shoulder pads just fit over these parts that kind of lock the front of the mech into place, it's ingeniously designed. Like I really feel like this is one of the best designed $15 Lego sets I have ever seen in my life. I'm just so pleased with it. You guys might think I'm exaggerating, but I always get these Mech Armor sets and I usually like them for the most part, but I've never loved one the way that I love this thing. And I'm not even a huge War Machine fan. I just think that he translates so well to Mech Armor form, and this is just like a style of set that was like tailor made for Rhodey. So yeah, I'm really loving this thing, and I kind of wish I was 10 years old and playing with this so that I could love it even more. Here are the extra pieces for this set, and then of course you do have those 4 extra stud shooters as well, and this is a slightly large extra, but you always get one of those as an extra piece. The box for this set is like a standard Mech Armor $15 box size and style. If anything, I guess the picture could be a tiny bit bigger to fill up more of the space, but you do have the Infinity Saga branding, and then at the back you just have some views of the set. The instruction manuals look very slightly different for 2024 with more explicit advertisement of the Lego Builder app, and at the back you don't have any advertisements for the 2024 Marvel sets, just the parts inventory. I think I've said all I want to about this set. It's pretty much perfect. All of my complaints, and I'm putting that in quotation marks, are super, super minor nitpicks. For $15 in 2024 to get a sturdy, well-built, detailed mech with lots of play features, I'd even argue that some of the detail is unnecessary, like clamping the front of the mech into place. It's not like that piece is loose. It doesn't need that clamp, but it just feels so natural and so great for a character like War Machine, who has a heavier suit of armor than Iron Man. You get an exclusive minifigure. He comes with a hairpiece. I mean, even like from a price per part ratio, it's got 154 pieces for $15. That's like the golden ratio. So I think price per part people will be happy, which I am one of them. I think people that just want a good size of set for the price are going to be happy. I'm also one of those. So I think everyone will be happy with this set. The only way you could not like this set is if you hate Iron Man and War Machine, at least in my opinion. I truly think that it's perfect, and I'm so happy with it. Like it's one of my favorite Marvel sets in forever, and I do think that it's up there. If I made like a top 10 Marvel sets, this one might honestly break in because I just think it's so perfect. I mean, it even has a place to store the extra tiles for the stud shooters. That is like unheard of in a set designed for 6-year-olds at a $15 price point. So whoever designed this, I'm just very grateful to them because I think it's really cool. And honestly, now I'm really excited to build the other mech armors for 2024 because of how good this one is. So let me know what you guys think about this set in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com, and I'll see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.